Petaluma Pete here, holed up in the garage for the duration. Got my bathrobe on, and it's time for Garage Grand is what we call this show, and that's because I'm in the garage, and this is my Steinway Upright Grand, and we're ready to go, except for telling you that this is brought to you by the Petaluma River Promenade. You want to know more? Come with me. This first song is kind of a sad song, requested by my sister Kitty, because she remembers how I was grounded all the time as a teenager. I was inside so often that I'd get kind of stir crazy, if that doesn't sound familiar right now during these troubled times. So it's an appropriate song as well. I was grounded for 2 weeks for something, and my dad came home with a 45 record, and he said, "I will let you out if you learn the songs on both sides of this record." So I grabbed it and I took it into the den where the piano was, and this is what came from that. Side one goes a little something like this. Gee, but it's tough when the gang has all gone home. You stand there on the corner, all alone. You may have dough, but you got no place to go. You're craving women, wine, and song. Is that so wrong? But the gang's left you flat with that old-time stall. You hurry home to gaze at those four bare walls. Every thought seems to scorch when you're carrying the torch. And the gang all gone home. Factoid number 1. A renovated Trestle will bring new life to downtown Petaluma. Thousands of spectators once gathered on the Trestle during festivals in the past, but today, Petaluma's iconic symbol of its historic charm is in terrible disrepair. The crown jewel of the Petaluma waterways has become Petaluma's most recognizable landmark and, sadly, in its current condition, Petaluma's biggest eyesore. This blight can be transformed by making everyone aware that restoration is a community priority. We must save this historical treasure and potential boon to Petaluma's downtown. You know, back in the day, my dad made a pretty good habit of visiting the tavern every day. And part of the reason for that was because they told jokes back then. They used to have joke-telling contests, and before my dad died, he actually wrote a joke book. He really did. And this one is called Did You Hear the One About? And he decided that he would put together about 40 years worth of jokes. So I'll go ahead and tell you some of them now, because some of them are worth telling. And some of them wouldn't make it past the censors. So here's the first one. Ready? This woman chanced across her doctor on the street, and she began complaining about pain in her neck and in her arms and in her legs and in her head. And so the doctor said, "You better get in to see me." And she said, "I will when I'm getting to feeling a little better." Okay, here's another joke from Dad's joke book. A mother took her daughter named Shelley for an audience with the Pope. They were about to sign the visitor's register and stepped in front of a nun waiting to sign. And her mother said, "Wait till the nun signs, Shelley." It is now time for the Petaluma Pete archive videos. Please excuse the fuzziness of the picture here. The technology wasn't quite up to snuff 10 years ago, but here's one having to do with the river.
This is for kids only.
This is for kids only.
This is for kids only.
Hey kids, it's Petaluma Pete, and we are in downtown Petaluma today, right next to the river. And we're going to learn a new term today, river fun. You ever heard that term before? River fun. Let's find out what it's all about. Come with me. Did you know that most cities and towns all over the world do not have a river running through them? How lucky are we here in Petaluma because we not only have a river, but we also have organizations like the Petaluma Small Craft Center Coalition. And you are looking at their annual Free Public Day on the River event. Another term for small craft is little boat. And there were all sorts of little boats there for kids of all ages, and lots of cool exhibits and local small craft organizations offering rowing and paddling instruction and the opportunity to try an 8-oared rowing shell and a 6-person outrigger canoe and other human-powered watercraft including kayaks and traditional rowboats, as well as stand-up paddling and pedal boats. The Petaluma Small Craft Center Coalition is a local group of river users and advocates whose mission is to promote small craft access to the Petaluma River, primarily through the location and development of a community small craft center for all the citizens of Petaluma and Sonoma County to enjoy. Check out this sliding seat to help make rowing easier. Check out this kid blowing bubbles and having the time of his life. Here's another kid learning from an adult how to maneuver a rowboat out on the open water. And here's some other small craft called ducks that decided to form a line all across the river so everybody had to stop going that way until they all got to the other side. You know, not long ago, Petaluma Pete played on the D Street Bridge while the mayor's non-motorized boat ride gang paddled right underneath. There's lots of other boating events that take place all year long. That because Petaluma is one of the few towns in the whole world that even has a river, smart kids and their adults take advantage of the family fun waiting for them right there on the water. It's all about having river fun. Wait a minute. Stop. One more thing before we go, kids. Encourage your adults to visit the Friends of the Petaluma River website. It's a non-profit organization that is dedicated to celebrating and conserving the Petaluma River, its wetlands, and wildlife. All right, kids, that about wraps it up. Don't forget to be nice to everybody and listen to your teachers and eat all your vegetables. Does this thing have brakes? So, rounding out side 2 of the 45 record that my dad gave to me back when I was, 14, telling me that if I learned the songs on that record, he would let me out of being grounded for 2 weeks. So this is side 2. And, I'll start this off by telling you that it's a timely piece. I'll just let the story tell itself. Starts out with a guy, he's on the telephone with his wife. He said, "Hello, dear. Yes, yes, I know. I know. I'm still at the tavern, but there's a good reason for it. If you just hold on just a second, I'll tell you." It goes like this. I was floating down that old green river on the good ship Rock and Rye, but I floated too far. I got stuck on the bar, out there alone, wishing that I were home. The ship went down with the captain and crew. There's only one thing left to do. Bum, bum, bum. I had to drink that whole green river dry to get back home to you. That's right, dear. I was floating down that old green river on the good ship Rock and Rye, but I floated too far. I got stuck on the bar, out there alone, wishing that I were home. The ship went down with the captain and crew. There's only one thing left to do. I had to drink that whole green river dry to get back home to, get back home to, get back home to you. Yeah, to get back home to you. The Trestle can become our year-round pedestrian-friendly way to support downtown vitality for all Petalumans and visitors. The Trestle could restore our connection to the river by hosting community festivals, fairs, markets, boating extravaganzas, and all without closing streets. Saving this monumental part of our history for our future would be a poster child for adaptive reuse. All right, and here is another joke from Dad's joke book. This man was driving blissfully along when a policeman pulled him over because he had 3 penguins sitting in the back seat of his car. The cop told him they were a hazard and that he should take them to the zoo. The next day, the cop pulled him over again because the penguins were still in his back seat. But this time, they were wearing sunglasses and each had a little bottle of suntan lotion. The cop said, "I thought I told you yesterday to take those things to the zoo." And the guy said, "Well, I did just that, officer. And they enjoyed it so much that today I'm taking them to the beach."